go. It's that time again. Get up, get off the couch, and tackle your own to-do list. Stay tuned. Hello, welcome to the Just Ask Bob show. I am your host, Bob Assadourian. We're kicking it off with yet another viewer's email. Bob, I want to upgrade my bathroom's exhaust fan, and I want to do it myself. What should I expect when I go up into the attic? What size ducting and rain cap should I be using? Oh, and will I have to paint my bathroom ceiling afterwards? This is from Andrew in Dundas, Ontario. Well, thank you, Andrew. And let me jump right to the question of, will you have to paint your ceiling afterwards? If you want to take a moment and look up, literally, from my perspective, to the left of the fan, there's a screw sticking up in the ceiling, and there's a very, very, very small little mark there. Nothing the little pink putty won't fix. The fan that came in here was half that size. So Bob had to do a lot of cutting and a lot of chopping. So Andrew, if you're more careful than I was, you shouldn't have to pull out a paintbrush at all. It can be done. Let me take a moment to describe our location. Very special thanks to the homeowners for allowing us to bring the Cable 14 cameras into their home. This is an ensuite bathroom in an approximately new build 10-year-old home in Hamilton, Ontario. It's a 4-piece bathroom. We have a gorgeous shower behind me. We have a nice toilet, which I also installed. We have a beautiful drop-in bathtub, as we've talked about these bathtubs before, with a nice deck-mounted faucet. And we also have a lovely vanity. So it's a really spacious bathroom. Problem with the bathroom, again, goes back to the Ontario Minimum Building Code. If I can take a moment to explain this. The government mandates that in order to keep new homes affordable, they have to set the bar at a minimum. Now, I don't know when the last time you found an affordable home, but I don't see any affordable homes in our community for the sake of that matter. It depends. It's about perspective. With building construction products, you have the lowest budget, you have a little better, you have medium grade, then you have the best. And I always tell the homeowners, when you're cutting the crooked and overcharging contractor out of the equation, don't cheap out. Take that substantial savings and buy yourself the highest quality products you can buy, which is this beauty here. This fan is absolutely stunning. The power of this unit, this could suck the chrome off a trailer hitch. This is a powerful fan which will dry all the water in the shower, which will leave the mirror in this bathroom fog and moisture free. The walls in this bathroom, we're not going to have runs. The paint will endure. See, Ontario Minimum Building Code specifies that by law, a bathroom has to either have A or B, an operating window or an exhaust fan. So a lot of older homes only have the operating window. Now, when it's 30 below zero, with or without the wind chill, are you going to leave your window open for the duration that you're taking the shower or bath and another 20 minutes thereafter? Nobody's going to. So because the building code mandates at minimums, minimum equals cheap garbage and junk. The fan that we took out of here was worth about $35, and that's to go out and buy it. So the builders, the big bad wolf, they're probably getting it for 15 bucks. This unit's worth a little over $200, but it's worth its weight in gold. And to show you how well it works, we're actually going to test the inferior old one. We're going to show you the footage, then we're going to test this one. Now we have an old fan, a typical junky new home construction build. Take a moment now while I be quiet and listen to this. Very noisy. These fans almost sound like an airplane propeller taking off, and they do not have the required suction. They only require a small opening into the ceiling, and in most cases they're only a 3 or a 4 inch vent. Let's give this a test. Once again, the toilet paper test. And we've got 1, 2, 3. That's about it. 3 or 4 squares. Like I say, these won't do much. with a fan like this, you're going to get the streaks on your walls. You have potential for mold growth in the shower, and the finishes, depending the vanities in the cabinets, if they're press board or they're not solid plywood, they can actually delaminate. So again, not recommended at all. Now we're going to show you the massive suction power of the brand new one we installed. Now for the true test, toilet paper, the toilet paper challenge. Yes, it may sound silly, but we're going to be testing this fan to show you its true power. Now, Andrew had a great question. It was regarding the diameter of the ducting and also the roof rain cap, the termination point. Now, this particular fan requires a 6-inch ducting. The fan that we replaced was a 3-inch that had been reduced to a 2-inch. That's absolutely disgusting. I don't know what the builder was doing. That makes no sense at all. Now, ideally, if you're piping in and installing your ducting, 6-inch is the way to go, because regardless of what fan you use, the 6-inch ducting will be fine. As far as terminating out the roof, you want to make sure to always buy a metal rain cap. Now, let's see what this can hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's see if we make 10. 10. We'll keep going. 11. 11, 10, 11 does it. But again, it's a very, very powerful unit. All kidding aside with the toilet paper, this fan, I promise you, you're not going to have runs on the walls for moisture. It's going to dry out the shower really quickly. You're not going to have any moisture or fog on the mirror, and the general condition of the bathroom and all of the components will be protected. Because again, some people could take an hour-long shower, or you've got a large 2 or 3 person drop-in tub. You may be filling that up with a lot of hot water, and that moisture builds. Now, as far as how to install this, Andrew was very clear in asking. I could read between the lines of his email. I don't think he's been in his attic before. So what we've done is, ourselves, we went up into the attic. You'll see on the temperature readout, it was nearly 50 degrees Celsius. We had nails sticking out through the roof coming close to our heads. We had a white suit on, sweltering heat. You have to walk on the ceiling joists, or you're going to fall through the drywall onto the tiled floor. We didn't want a trouble cable 14 to come up there, because those were horrible circumstances. But to all the viewers at home, please open your mind's eye, follow us through our footage, follow us on our journey in there. It's not the clearest, and it is a little shaky at times, the footage, but the point we wanted to do for you was we wanted to demystify the process of what it's like to work in an attic under those circumstances, so you, the homeowner, can be the judge. Is this a DIY project for you and your family, or are you going to hire out? Enjoy the show.
Not everyone gets to go home this holiday season. Your donation to Hamilton Health Sciences Foundation funds vital medical equipment and can make a real difference in a patient's life. Give the greatest gift of all, the gift of health. Double your impact today at giftofhealth.ca.
In Canada, more than 13 million volunteers contribute over 2 billion hours every year. Volunteers support us in everything we do, and communities thrive because of it. At Volunteer Canada, we encourage and strengthen community involvement. We work with a broad range of partners to promote and support our shared vision of a vibrant Canada. To learn more, visit thenewvolunteer.ca, your connection to Canada's volunteering community.
Hello, welcome to our Triple R job site. Today we're talking about installing a new bathroom exhaust fan. Technically speaking, this is a replacement of an existing. Now there is a big difference. In new home construction, everything is easy. No drywall. This particular case, obviously it's a modern new home construction build. The drywall's already here. That poses for some challenges. Now, with the right contractor for your home and for yourself, this can be done correctly. You have to measure. The extra size of the cut has to be done perfectly. And you have to watch, keep your dirty fingers off the drywall. If you measure twice and cut once, this retro replacement can be done without the need to paint the ceiling at all. Now, always having a helping hand is important. Today we've got Triple R's finest apprentice, Frank Lorcella. Where are you, Frank?
Right here, Bob.
Hey, good job. 2 people you'll need. So if you're at home, husband and wife situation, it can work. Now before we put the unit in, let's talk about the opening. We have enlarged it. The unit that was here was very, very small. You have to know where your joists are, or your trusses, or your roof rafters. In this particular case, it's right here. So it runs all the way across. The next one is over here, but obviously the size of the fan is this big. So after the break, we'll be in the attic, and we're going to show you we've added some framing. We've added some 2x4 lumber, because there is some good weight to the unit. So you want to make sure it's fastened securely. And as we've talked about in the past, it's all about penetration. 3-inch screws. The screws that were used in the original were 3/4 of an inch. And the original fan was coming loose on the left side. So when you're going to do it, you're going to do it properly. Now this is going to take some wiggling. Again, after the break, we'll show you the flange for the ducting, which is on this side. We've disassembled it so that we can install this from inside the bathroom going up. So Frank's going to be not only helping support this while I screw it in, he's going to be hooking on the adapter, the flange for the ducting. All right, ready, Frank?
Ready.
Okay. Actually, you know what? Pass it down. We can show the viewers. There you go. That's your flapper. Okay. Here we go. How's that?
Down a little bit. And back up. Perfect.
Got it?
Yep.
Okay. Hold on to it. Now you want to install these in a crisscross formation. That way, as soon as I get 2 in, Frank can ease up on the support. Two more screws to go and follow us up inside the attic. Get a load at this, viewers. Nearly 50 degrees Celsius. I'm not kidding you. It's hot. It's boiling hot in here today. So as you can see, for safety reasons, we're suited up. We've got the mask, obviously off while I'm yakking. Now, we talk a lot about DIY projects. Now, this can be done. You know, husband and wife team, have the children help out if they're old enough or willing. But you have to make sure that you're comfortable. You see these joists? This is what you walk on. This is what I'm kneeling on right now. Right here, that's your ceiling. You land here, you're going to go through into the bathroom or the bedroom or the hallway below you. So make absolutely sure that you're careful and you're safe and you can work here. Now, just for perspective's sake, we're going to give you a view of the length of this attic so you can get an idea at home what an attic looks like. So as you can see, over to the one side, it's all rafters, it's all joists. Again, a possibility of either, depending on your home's configuration. There's plumbing, there's venting pipes in the way, there's wiring. There's an awful lot of roofing nails. You have to be careful. You know, generally, if you're coming up into your attic, if you're safe to, you should inspect your attic annually. Either yourself or bring in a licensed professional. You want to look at the roof decking. You want to make sure there's no mold. And you want to also make sure your attic insulation isn't missing large voids like this. Obviously, we've moved it out so we can get access to the fan. Now, we'll go over some of the components with you. We talked about this earlier before, about where the joists are located, or in this case the trusses. We added one here. The reason for this one is so we could have a solid surface to screw the unit to. This is the ducting elbow on the one end. Now we've cut the vapor barrier, loosened it in order to get the unit up, so anytime you cut vapor barrier or you compromise its integrity, it's very important that you tape up the seams. Speaking of tape, we're only using real foil tape. So if it says duct tape, leave it on the shelf at the store. You want peel and stick foil tape. As you can see, we're trying to be organized. We cut some lengths. I've got them taped on the sides here so I can grab them. So this is the end that's going to exhaust out. This is the termination pipe at the roof. This leads into a rain cap. Now I've been in many homes before where the exhaust fan is simply ducted into the attic space. Please, that is wrong. Don't ever do that. And insist when you hire a contractor, if your home didn't have an exhaust fan, that you cut through the roof to install it. Now the ducting must be insulated. It's very important that it's insulated. This attic zone, opposite of today obviously, in the winter time, generally speaking, if it's 30 below zero outside, it's going to be 30 below zero in the attic space, so that a hot air that flows through here, if it's not insulated, it'll cause condensation. So if you follow us, we're going to start on the one end here. We're going to very carefully slide it over. We're going to tape it all the way around. Now this is very important. No air bubbles, no air pockets. You've got to push the tape really well. You want to make absolutely certain that it's a nice seal. You've got to feel in for the bottom. Any leakage caused by improper taping or improper fastening will cause a pool of water inside your attic in the winter time. Again, it's all a matter of when hot meets cold. This is the actual tape that we're using. I hope you can see this clearly on your television screens. I like to peel one end to get some of it going. It can be fussy to remove the backing. You want to use small pieces at a time because this sticks to itself. And trust me, you don't want to be doing this in the hottest day of the year. Ideally, you want to do it in the fall, even the winter, or early spring. Unless your contractor's overbooked. Okay, now once it's taped up, we're going to pull the jacket over it. Now equally as important as the insulation is the vapor barrier. Slide the vapor barrier over it. One end left. Now, as per the manufacturer's instructions, you don't want an instantaneous elbow. So they want approximately a foot of a straight run at the minimum, and then you change direction. You want to slide it over. The moment you've got it slid over, you want to pinch it with some tape. That way it stays intact. Twist it over. And that can happen. It will fall off on you. Again, you're working in a very tight area. There we go. As long as we got one piece to hold it. Now, I'm going to continue taping this. Oh, and before I forget, phenomenal. Big thanks to Frank Lorcella, Triple R's finest, who's on the camera, doing the zooming, and collecting this footage for our show. Thanks, Frank. You're the best. After this break, up next, we're going to be picking Bob's Top Picks and Bob's Bewares, and I will be much, much happier in the cool, dry shop. I'm going to keep cutting this tape now and band it all the way around both sides.
If you are ready to play, we are ready to pay. Kiwanis TV Bingo is coming your way. Pick up those $3 bingo cards at any one of almost 200 vendors around the Hamilton community. Tune into Cable 14 on Monday nights at 7 p.m. and win cash. Over $150,000 up for grabs this season. You won't want to miss it. Break a dabber.
In Canada, more than 13 million volunteers contribute over 2 billion hours every year. Volunteers support us in everything we do, and communities thrive because of it. At Volunteer Canada, we encourage and strengthen community involvement. We work with a broad range of partners to promote and support our shared vision of a vibrant Canada. To learn more, visit thenewvolunteer.ca, your connection to Canada's volunteering community.
Hello. Well, hope you enjoyed our bathroom exhaust fan show. I am so happy to be out of that attic. I mean, that was nearly 50 degrees Celsius, cramped, tight. I had the bodysuit on. Again, big shout out to Frank Lorcella, who was holding the camcorder as steady as he could, considering he was crouched, both feet supported on ceiling joists, and about waist deep in insulation. Best time of the year to install those units is the fall or even the winter. To stay out of there in the attic in the summertime, unless it's absolute emergency, which installing or upgrading your exhaust fan should never be an emergency if it's planned well. Now let's jump into some top picks and Bob's Bewares. Definitely a Bob's Beware here, regular duct tape. Now they may say you can fix anything with duct tape. No, you cannot. This stuff will only stick for the moment you put it on. It will not stay stuck. It will not sufficiently hold anything that you adhere it to. The top pick, just as we used on the show today, metal foil tape. And believe me, you can hunt for it like I do. They have this made in China, and they also have an American version. Unfortunately, there's none made in Canada. I don't control the marketplace. But believe me, for the stick, for the quality in manufacturing, always preferably the made in USA than the China. Let's show you for a moment. Once again, it was very difficult in the attic for you to be able to see this. You cut it off, you peel it, and then you want to fold, pull back and fold, stick it to a joist, a couple of them in a row, and then cut and install as you go. You don't want to get attic insulation on this. Very strong stick, and it is metal. Very strong unit. Now, whether it's this show or a past episode, we do have 4 seasons under our belt with Cable 14. You can pause, fast forward, rewind, learn at your own pace how to DIY and tackle your own to-do lists at home. Please visit our website to learn more about us, www.justaskbob.com. Again, that's www.justaskbob.com, or let's go old school, Hamilton. Pick up the phone, call Bob, 289-649-0196. Again, that's 289-649-0196. Thank you, Hamilton. Until next time. Nice. That one was even lighter.